Today we're going to be talking about the top 3 things to consider when you're relocating for work. So a lot of times I'll hear from people, I just got the greatest job offer, Jen. It's $30,000 more than I make, and I'm moving to California. And I always say, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. But wait, let's make sure you're looking at these 3 things, because often what sounds like you're going to be making more money and sounds like you're getting a promotion is actually gonna leave you in a worse financial situation. So here are the 3 things I always suggest that my clients look at when they're weighing out, should I take this job offer? Should I ask for more? Is this a good financial move? Number 1, what are the state income taxes in the state that you will be moving to? I don't think people understand how much state income tax varies, but it varies dramatically. And I think it's a really good idea if you're doing a job search to look up all the states and their state income tax level, because that may change where you look for a job. For instance, I recently moved almost 2 years now, from California to Florida. And I can tell you, I'm enjoying my paychecks a lot more. I went from a state with very high income tax to no income tax, okay? Now look, it doesn't mean one state's better than the other. It just depends on your personal financial situation and what you're looking for. So number 1, state income tax. Number 2, cost of living. So cost of living comes up in multiple states. You know, you could say, oh, wow, that state has no income tax. Let's use Miami, for example. Okay, Florida has no income tax, but if you're relocating to Miami, the cost of living is very high. So that's going to be the second thing you want to look at. You want to look at how much is rent and how much is it to buy. If you're moving into a situation where renting is going to make it so you have no money and you have no chance of ever buying based on your income and trajectory for your career, would I recommend you move there? Not unless you have a ton of potential upside by staying there. And I say that because as a lender, one of the biggest things I hear from people is, I'm never going to be able to afford to buy here. And I'm not saying that specific to Miami. I mean, look, I've heard that in the Bay Area for decades, and it's not a fun place to be. People are happier when they can afford to live where they work. People are happier when they can actually not have to worry about bills every day. People are happier when they're not spending $5,000 a month for a studio apartment. So what may sound like a juicy job offer may not be once you look at the cost of living. You could just be relocating to get in a worse position. Okay, and then the third is gonna be, what's the vibe, right? And I think that's really important. So as a mortgage lender in 48 states, I can tell you, different states have different vibes. You know, you have some states that, like there's different belief systems, like it can be very different. Like if you're coming from a city and you're going like, I'm gonna use New York, right? You live in New York and you're like, I'm going to LA, it's a city too. What's the difference? Do you know how to drive, right? Do you know how to drive? There's very little public transportation there. You know, you're gonna wanna look at the place that you're moving to. Does it have the amenities that you're used to, that you need, or that you want, right? If you're moving from a very suburban rural area and you love hiking and mountain biking and you hate noise and you just love having space around you, is moving into a tight city a great answer? No. I mean, unless, once again, there's some huge trajectory where you can get back to where you're going to be happy emotionally, it's not worth it. So those are the 3 things I always tell people to think about, because I think it's so easy to get into the excitement of, oh my gosh, I just got a job offer from this company. It's a bigger company. I'm getting $30,000 raise. This is so amazing. But until you sit down and you do the math, you can't really tell if it's amazing. So I hope this video is helpful. We love helping people relocate. So if you have questions, if you're like, hey, I want to buy a house, how do I buy a house before I've already moved there? You know, reach out. We're here to support you as much as possible. Thanks for watching.